Wuthering Heights. Wuthering Heights is the story of two families. The Earnshaw, who inhabit Wuthering Heights, and Linton, who lived Truscross Grange. The two houses were 4 miles away, one from the other, but while Truscross Grange was in a place safe of the inclemencies of the weather, Wuthering Heights was located on the top of a hill and challenging the wind. That is the reason of its name. The family Earnshaw was formed by Mr. Earnshaw, his son Hindley, and his daughter Catherine. And the Linton was constituted by Mr. and Mrs. Linton, their son Edgar, and their daughter Isabella. When Hindley and Catherine were children, their father brought back home a dirty gypsy child who became Mr. Ershaw's favorite son. This child was named Heathcliff. Catherine and Heathcliff became great friends, but Hindley was jealous and hated him. Few years later, Hindley went away to study and came home only for her father's bringing with him his wife Frances, who had pregnant. Hindley became the master of the house, and he treated everybody badly excepting his wife. And when he died, after having a baby called Herdon, he didn't take care of his son. One evening, Heathcliff and Catherine went to Linton's house to see if Isabella and Edgar were punished all the time as they were. Catherine had become friend of Edgar, who had fallen in love with her. Hindley decided to go away in order to a gentleman's worth of Catherine, but when he came back, Catherine and Edgar was worried.
Heathcliff determined to take revenge and ran away with Isabella, who had fallen in love with him, and then he took possession on Hindley's properties. He lived with Isabella at Wuthering Heights until she escaped near London to have her baby Linton far from her husband. As for Edgar and Catherine, they had a baby called Cathy. Before her baby, her mother and Heathcliff were together for the last time and recognized that she had always loved him and had committed an error marrying with Edgar. 6 months after Catherine's death and her brother Hindley's died. 13 years later, Edgar traveled to visit his sister Isabella, who has died. After 3 weeks, Isabella died and Edgar returned home with his nephew Linton. Next day, Linton has to go to Wuthering Heights because Heathcliff ordered him to do so. Cathy was 13 years when she knew her two cousins, Harrington and Linton, forced by Heathcliff's threatenings. 5 days after her marriage, her father died. A few weeks later, Kathy became a widow. At the end, the wicked Heathcliff died, leaving Kathy and Harrington together at the same house. Finally, the young two cousins fall in love and plan to marry. The novel Wuthering has a very complex storyline and characters are also quite intricate. The story takes place in northern England in an isolated rural area. The main characters involved are residents of two opposing households, Wuthering Heights and Thrushcross Grange. It is a tale of powerful love between two people, which transcends all boundaries, including life and death. The author, Emily Bronte, uses parallelisms because the first generation of characters is comparable to the second generation.
Say something, I'm giving up on you.
The Black Cat. Edgar Poe was born on January of 1809 in Boston, USA. He lived most of his life afraid of the things in his own mind, and he wrote some of the most frightening horror stories ever written. The Black Cat is one of Edgar Poe's most famous stories. The protagonist was a man of docile character and kind. He lives next to his wife and their animals, hobby that they share. He had more friendship with his black cat named Pluto than with the other animals. The black cat followed him everywhere, showing him his affection. But this changed when the man began to suffer a change in his personality when because of alcohol. He mistreated his wife and animals, except the cat that had a great deal of respect for him. But one night, when he came home, he took one eye at the cat for nibbling his hand. But this wasn't the end. To end the damage that he made the animals. The next morning, he hanged him in a tree. On the night of the same day, the man and his wife had to flee their house by fire. In the morning, he visited the house and in ruins and observed that only one wall stood where there was an image of a big cat.
This caused him to live with remorse and went to sleep. One night, the man discovered in a bath a black cat similar to Pluto that took to his house. But soon he began to feel hatred for the animal. One day, the man went down to the basement of the house and he took an axe to finish him. Instead of killing the cat, he killed his wife for trying to stop him. The protagonist hid his wife's corpse inside of the walls of the basement, and without even realizing, the cat, who betrayed him with his groans as the police searched the house. The main character is an alcoholic man who commits terrible acts in his drunken state, and that in reacting and repeating of his act, he is so terrified that commits worse acts. The wife, the second character, loves animals and even gets to enjoy ill treatment by her husband.